You're watching continuing local news coverage from Colorado's biggest news team. Now, Fox 31 Morning News at 9. We're on it.
We're tracking breaking news just into our newsroom. This is new video of the suspect accused of killing two people on the University of Colorado Springs campus, appearing in court this morning. The judge ruling the arrest paperwork will be released. We've got Jim Hooley. He's live there outside of the courtroom listening into the proceedings. And we'll have the newest information for you coming up.
We've got a warm up for the weekend, but there will be some wind. We'll talk about the timing and the impacts coming up.
Well, thieves are apparently hitting pickleball stores now all across the metro area. This morning, we're hearing from one store owner and why he believes these thefts are part of an organized scheme.
The Colorado Environmental Film Festival is this weekend. Brand new this morning, we're live with the festival's youngest filmmakers who flew here all the way from Thailand to feature their films in Golden. So we'll be interviewing them live here in studio. Looking forward to that. Great to have you guys. Happy Friday. It's a busy Friday morning. I'm Kirk Yonke.
I'm Ashley Michaels in for Ashley Ryan. Always happy to be here with you guys on a Friday morning.
Good to have you.
It's a good day to work nice and early in the day.
I do want to jump into this breaking news into our newsroom just within the last 30 minutes. The Arapahoe County Sheriff's Office says the former owner of a Littleton funeral home is now in custody. Investigators say 33-year-old Miles Harford was arrested after officers found a dead body and several cremated remains at his former home on Quillman Street last Friday. Police in Englewood arrested Harford last night. He is expected in court today to face charges, including abuse of a corpse, theft, and forgery. So we'll be on it tracking that. We're also continuing to follow breaking news out of Aurora. A deadly hit-and-run crash closed down Colfax at Havana, about a block west of the Children's Hospital there, right during rush hour this morning. We know now all lanes of traffic have recently just reopened.
Yeah, but this investigation really just starting to get going. Police are still looking for the driver responsible, the driver that took off. Lisa D'Souza on scene for us this morning. Lisa, what can you tell us?
Good morning. So just within the past 30 minutes or so, again, all traffic back open here at Colfax and Havana, just like you mentioned. But no doubt, this is a busy stretch, and this was a large scene that unfolded. So take a look at some of this video here. You can see just how many officers were on scene. We're talking at least a dozen Aurora police vehicles and probably nearly 24 officers here at one point because, again, just a large scene here. This closure lasting for several hours. The details of what we know at this point, we know a vehicle hit a pedestrian. We don't know exactly what led up to that. And then that vehicle took off. Now we know Aurora police were able to find that vehicle soon after, but that driver, they are still searching for that driver at this hour here this morning. Sadly, that pedestrian did die here at the scene, and no doubt a sad situation here, but obviously a lot more in this investigation to get underway. So if you know anything about this, you are urged to call Aurora police. Meantime, again, a busy stretch here. Hopefully someone saw something that will be helpful in this investigation, and you can see lots of businesses here up on this intersection as well. So you can imagine Aurora police now combing through some of that surveillance video, trying to piece together the details here of what went wrong. So again, if you know anything about this, you're urged to call Aurora police right away. But the big development here, just within the past 30 minutes or so, for anyone that does rely on this stretch here in Aurora, it is now back open. For now, we're live in Aurora. Lisa D'Souza, Fox 31.
Yeah, and of course, if you know anything, if you saw anything, maybe you know where that driver is, please let police know. Thanks, Lisa. We'll check back in.
All right, live look outside on your Friday. Happy Friday morning, by the way. Blue skies for days. This is what they write about in that Chamber of Commerce pamphlet. 300 days, Kylie.
They're off on the number by a few,
It's okay.
but
It's okay.
you know, they're not meteorologists. They don't have to
Close
be totally correct, right? Gonna look at radar right now. We do have a beautiful day. I mean, when you think of Colorado and those blue skies, you think about this image right here. Look at that, not a cloud in the sky. Back of some tanker camera, upper 30s, low 40s. Visibility is good. We've got a little bit of a breeze, especially in our Front Range foothills, and then up toward Greeley as well. It's starting to ramp up. That wind is going to continue picking up as the day goes on. Temperatures will warm into the mid-50s by the early afternoon. So a little bit of a gusty day ahead. You can see anywhere from 15 to about 30 miles per hour. Forecast for today, we're going to be at 54 degrees. A little bit of a breeze today and this weekend. We'll break down how warm it's going to get and how windy in just a few.
All right.
Sounds good. Thank you, Kylie.
Right now, investigators working to figure out what led to this violent crash, and tragic crash in Larimer County. We're learning 3 athletes from the University of Wyoming swim team died. The coach saying the team is devastated, understandably so. Happened around 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon on Highway 287. It's about an hour south of the UW campus near the town of Livermore, which is here in Colorado. Now, details are still very limited on this morning.
Yeah, the entire swim team and university community, as you can only imagine, is heartbroken. Here's what we know so far about the victims. There was a total of 5 people in the car. 2 were ejected, an 18-year-old female and 2 males, aged 21 and 22. All died in the crash. We're told all 3 were on the university swim team. A 20 and 21-year-old male were hurt but are still suffering non-life-threatening injuries. They're expected to recover. A swim blog reporting that notifying families about the crash could be difficult because at least one of the swimmers is an international student, so communication differences, time differences could play a factor. The swim coach says we can expect the university to release more info after all families are notified. And this morning, we're hearing more from the community on the University of Wyoming, with several high-ranking officials commenting on the situation. For example, the university president said this, quote, "We're heartsick at the news of this terrible tragedy for our university, our state, our student-athlete community, and most importantly, the families and friends of these young people. Words are insufficient to express our sadness." The director of athletics also adding, "It is difficult to lose members of our University of Wyoming family, and we mourn the loss of these student athletes. We have counseling services available to our student athletes and coaches in our time of need." So we'll be tracking this story as it develops. You can always check for the latest updates on our website and the Fox 31 mobile app.
Time is 9:06. Caught on camera a violent robbery in Jefferson County. Take a look at the video here. Deputies are now searching for the man you see here holding a gas station at gunpoint. The robbery happened Saturday at an Exxon off of Highway 40. Deputies say the man walked into the store, asked for cigarettes, but when the cashier turned his back, that man pulled out a gun and demanded cash. Deputies believe that suspect got away in a dually pickup truck. If you know anything, contact the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office.
Right now, thieves targeting pickleball stores. The store Game Set Match capturing this video of the alleged crooks here on camera as they apparently took off with tens of thousands of dollars worth of merchandise at 3 of their stores, all within days. Adam Burberry sells paddles for pickleball stores. Paddles for pickleballers at his stores. Pickleball rackets can range starting at $60 all the way up to $300. The recent string of thefts at his stores left them out at least $30,000. He says the first theft happened on February 12th at his store in Centennial. 2 days later, Burberry says his store in Denver was also hit. And then on the 16th, a third incident happened at the store in Boulder.
Finally put all the pieces together. What was happening is it was an organized setup from a group. We think it's one group, but 2 sets of people.
Now, the store's owner says he's working with the Arapahoe County Sheriff's Office as well as the Denver and Boulder Police Departments in hopes of finding the people who did this.
All right, we are still more than a week out from Super Tuesday, and already former President Donald Trump is starting to hint at his possible picks for vice president. A list of 8 names coming out of a town hall with Fox News Channel's Laura Ingraham. Take a look at your screen here. That list includes 3 former Republican presidential opponents: Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, South Carolina Senator Tim Scott, and businessman Vivek Ramaswamy. The list also includes Florida Congressman Byron Donalds, South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem, and former Hawaii Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard, who was a Democrat while she was in office. Despite some tension on the campaign trail leading up to the primary, both of our analysts, Republican and Democratic, agree that DeSantis would be the strongest pick of the bunch. Here's what they had to say about the potential number 2 this week on Colorado Point of View.
He's got other right-wing, just complete nut jobs on his list as well. So let's just be careful about, TV show host, game show host Donald Trump and his VP pick. This is all about TV. It's all about ratings. It's not about policy. It's not about who he actually concurs with.
I think, ultimately this was a list that Laura Ingraham threw out there, and then he said, yeah, those all sound good. It could be somebody totally not on that list at all. And I think, Trump probably changes his mind on who, and he even said, I changed my mind on who will be the VP pick. We won't know for a while. Who knows what he's going to end up doing.
We had a lot to talk about this week. You can catch the full conversation on Colorado Point of View. It airs Sunday morning at 7:30 on our news partners Channel 2. You can also watch full episodes anytime that works for you. Head to our website, kdvr.com/COPOV.
The trial of the Rust armorer getting underway in New Mexico. Jurors in the movie shooting trial heard competing explanations for the death of the film's cinematographer. Helena Hutchins was killed on the set back in 2021 when Alec Baldwin fired a prop gun that was loaded with real bullets. Armorer Hannah Gutierrez Reed is now charged with involuntary manslaughter in her death.
The decisions she made that day ultimately contributed to Ms. Hutchins' death.
When the state talks about Ms. Gutierrez Reed being negligent, what really happened is production was negligent. Production put her in that position.
Also, the firearm.
Hannah's attorneys say Baldwin violated basic firearms rules and their client is being made the scapegoat. The actor is also charged with involuntary manslaughter. Hannah and Baldwin have both pleaded not guilty.
Houston, Odysseus has found his new home.
All right, how cool is this?
Excellent
For
call.
the first time since the Apollo mission more than 50 years ago, the U.S. is back on the moon. This time, though, it's a private company, Intuitive Machines. They're the ones behind this mission. The spacecraft, called Odysseus, launched on a SpaceX rocket back on February 15th, entered the lunar orbit earlier this week, made that landing yesterday. This is video from NASA showing the moment that spacecraft touched down. Their team, their loved ones cheering it on. How cool is that?
Very cool, and they say that this could be like a pit stop on the way to other planets.
That's what they're hoping.
Like a quick trip of space. That's kind of cool.
You can pick up snacks.
Refuel.
No.
Get some coffee.
Refuel, yes, for sure.
Coffee as well. Still ahead, United is marking a huge milestone in the Mile High this week.
The airline just opening up a new building at its training center in Denver, making it the largest flight training center in the entire world. We're going to talk more about the impact it'll have for new pilots.
And new at 9, we are live with the youngest filmmakers to be a part of the Colorado Environmental Film Festival happening this weekend. The two brothers flew all the way from Thailand. They'll be up next, live in studio, to talk more about the film that they'll be showing at the festival.
Cool. And hey, we've got a good looking weekend, just a little bit of wind. I'm also watching for your next chance for rain and snow coming up next week.